Today we are going to talk about the most powerful Necron weapons in 10th edition, and no, I'm not talking about how much damage a weapon can do, and it's coming right up.
Necrons!
Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. So let's talk about some Necron tactics which can make our Necron weapons very powerful, and I'm not talking about how much damage a weapon can do. Yes, 40k is all about destroying your opponent, however it's also about scoring points, and the most powerful weapons to do this is the humble assault weapon. Assault weapons lets you move and advance and then shoot normally. Now when 10th edition first came out, I instantly saw that we weren't -1 to hit, and already I was thinking assault weapons could be pretty good in 10th edition. However, now I've played a good amount of games, I've realised how powerful they actually are. Advancing is a great way to get your units into position to be able to take both primary and secondary objectives. Now of course, being able to shoot after advancing is a great bonus. Not only are you in position, but now you can shoot your guns. Of course you can't assault, but you can shoot, and whilst assault weapons generally aren't the greatest gun in the world at killing stuff, but at least you can shoot them. Now we do have the Protocol of the Sudden Storm stratagem, 1 CP. You can allocate this to a unit with a ranged weapon, turning those weapons into assault weapons. You can even re-roll the advanced dice if that unit is led by a character. So you could use this stratagem on big guns like heavy destroyers, allowing you to move, advance into position on an objective and still shoot those big guns. However, there is a lot more than advancing and being able to shoot, and that is doing actions. Now of course in 10th edition there is no such thing as doing an action. That's actually terminology from 9th edition. It hasn't carried over, but effectively it's the same. Press like if you think Games Workshop should have used the terminology action in 10th edition. In 10th edition, if you're eligible to shoot, then instead of shooting you can achieve an objective, effectively do an action on an objective or in a table quarter or whatever your secondary objective card says. Now of course it's not just assault weapons that let you do actions, it's any unit that is eligible to shoot. And of course that doesn't necessarily mean you have to be holding a gun. It was confirmed in the rules commentary that units that don't have a gun are still eligible to shoot, although they have a few restrictions. For example, you can't do an action in close combat if you don't have a gun. If you have a pistol, however, you can do an action when it's your turn to shoot, because you can shoot that gun in close combat. So yeah, you can do an action in close combat with a pistol. Pretty nice. However, back to assault weapons. So we can move, we can advance, and instead of shooting we can do an action, and that is very powerful. Now of course you could use the Sudden Storm stratagem in conjunction with this, giving a unit that doesn't have an assault weapon but needs some extra movement to get into position to do an action, give them an assault weapon, allowing you to move, advance and then do the action. Now we do have units that can take assault weapons. We've got the Immortals who can take Tesla carbines. However, every model has to hold a Tesla carbine, and that means you're sacrificing some range and AP from not taking Gauss blasters. The real star of the show is the twin Tesla carbine on Tomb Blades. Tomb Blades are a fantastic unit. They can move 12 inches, they're hard to hit in both shooting and close combat. You've got 3 war gear options allowing you to have a 3+ save and a 5+ invulnerable save, and they have 2 wounds. But most importantly of all, you can take mixed weapons. We have 3 weapon options with Tomb Blades, and I think there's no doubt that the Particle Beamer is generally the best weapon. It hits on 2, it's a blast weapon, and it does devastating wounds. However, the twin tester carbine is an assault weapon. Now, you wouldn't take this weapon on all of the models. That's the advantage of having a mixed gun unit. You would take one of your toon blades with the tester carbine and the rest of them with the particle beamers. And now you've got a unit that's able to advance and still shoot, because you've got one gun in there which can shoot after advancing, which means if you need to advance and do an action, well, now you can do so. Now, toon blades are pretty fast anyway. They move 12 inches, but sometimes that just isn't fast enough. Sometimes you have to advance to get yourself into position to be able to do those actions and to be able to score points. And that's why I think the twin tester carbine is the most powerful Necron weapon in the Codex. Let me know what you think in the comments box below, and if you want to see some of my other Necron tactical videos, here's a playlist for you to check out next.